I saw your latest post. Can you send T-pics?
But my post was about finding friends, not sending lewds. Why would you do that? Well, that is the sad reality of Reddit. Whenever anybody sends this type of message right after you make a post, it's most likely that they were counting their brain cells on their hand and they didn't even use all 5 fingers. I.e., the dum-dums here. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video for the day. We're going back into r/justneckbeardthings, and if you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support, and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up the wholesome internet discussions, and if you have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on them notifications. I don't know, just leave a comment down below about what is the best bread and why is it the everything bagel.
These are your birth years. Why are you playing Animal Crossing? Take that ring out of your nose and find yourself a man to explode inside you. Deep in IRL baby crossing. Hope this helped. Very much it did not know.
Man, okay? Look, at this point, I don't even know myself. I'm asking more questions than can be answered, and I just honestly have no idea where my questions will end. On a side note, this dude's saying all this like multitasking don't exist. All-girls engineer team invents a solar-powered tent for the homeless.
Well, frick. How unfortunate this was produced by the dong list. So relevant. And who gives a frick? Not the homeless. All they see is a place to S and, pew up possibly at the same time. And when they are stoned and are bored or both, they will throw the whole thing in the river or off an overpass into traffic. So thanks, the engineers.
What beef you got with people just because the people that made a thing happen to all be women? Like, imagine thinking that a project is so awesome and cool and everything, but no, you now absolutely hate it just because it was made by women. That really definitely goes to show a lot about you. I hope the tent does pretty well, and whatever type of solar cell they have to absorb all of the energy that the solar panels make for this, I hope it's enough to power some sort of small heating element, because, I mean, warm places to sleep at night are always good.
Learn how to uwu for free. Discord edition, as if there was any other physical edition. Learn how to uwu kawaii lessons. How to uwu Discord. The fact that this is an ad has me honestly thinking, wait a minute, some dum-dum's been paying how to learn to do that? Hello, I saw your post on r/teenagers, and I'd like to chat to get to know you better. So, for an introduction, my name's Redacted, I'm 16, I'm from Texas, no, I'm not a Republican, and I'm an Aspie that boasts a deep, monotone voice, a height of 6'5", a severe case of older sibling syndrome, the bragging rights curse of being 2 grades ahead of where I'd be otherwise, and a fanatical obsession with 20th century and obscure romantic era classical music. If we become friends, I'd say I'm generally a thoughtful, protective, and reassuring friend, and I enjoy chats, calls, and quality time with the people in my life, because how are you is so vague to open with, especially to me, a person that socially functions off of profiling people. That would be 7 adjectives you feel best describe you. Are you just upset that a man understands the female reproductive system better than you? Because I can tell you, in the time you are watching reality TV and reading shallow magazines, I'm reading about topics that interest me. At the end of the day, to anyone that reads our exchange, it becomes clear who is educated and who isn't, so enjoy your continued existence in your lower-class bubble.
Yeah, dude saying all this implying that he's the one that's actually smart. No, the person who was smart wouldn't take their time and effort and energy into making this tiny pissy rant. Please stop asking me for my bathwater, I take showers. You know, I'm starting to honestly wondering how much of a better place the world would be if these dudes were as persistent with their life goals as it was being persistent getting this frickin' bathwater. It would honestly either be some sort of absolute utopia or Mad Max kind of scene. There's no in-between, because that's kind of what we are at right now. Please place your bets down below.
It seems that female attraction can generally be broken into 3 categories. Tall, handsome men. If you are not at least 6'4" and decent looking, no woman will acknowledge your existence. Physical attraction is a biologically deterministic, hypermasculine, emotionally emotionally unavailable narcissist. They usually have sociopathic tendencies to lure women into toxic relationships. However, the women seems to intentionally ignore all of the red flags beforehand. The term "treat them like dirt and they stick like mud" exists for a reason. A lot of bad boys also fall into category number 1, which is how they get away with it in the first place. And the third one being beta bucks. Basically, a guy with high socioeconomic status who attracts a woman who wants to settle down. She sees him as a meal ticket and provider for a better life. There isn't much emotional or physical attraction there, though. Costco is now selling a 27-pound bucket of macaroni and cheese, and whoever posted this to the subreddit asking if it's a neckbeard thing to like mac and cheese, it very much is not, because I'm wondering if this is the exact same recipe that Costco normally sells. Because my grandparents usually go to Costco whenever my family comes into town, and I'm honestly was thinking it was homemade stuff, but then they just showed me the receipt for Costco, and I'm thinking, dang, that was good though. But for them to advertise a 27-pound bucket of it, that's dangerous. Thinking how some women won't date a guy who lives at home with his mom, but will date a guy that lives at home with his wife. Dude, you're out here saying that like you think that that's the defining factor as to why nobody wants to date you.
I used to think that, but the more you actually find out about the past, you'll realize how leftists, revisionists, and feminists have altered history to kids in schools, which lead people like yourself to believe that men had it much harder. You're forced to work in the mines and go to war. Women weren't forced to do that. They couldn't vote, sure. Still far better than how men had it. Plus, not voting didn't really affect them, since 100 plus years ago they weren't the breadwinners. They didn't work in other worlds, so political changes didn't have much of an impact since women weren't that involved in the process anyways. Obviously, not talking about civil rights bills though.
Just because you weren't allowed to interact with something and be a reason that that thing changed doesn't mean that that thing ain't gonna affect you. Who do I call to help me with money-based family matters? Look, I read the caption for this thing. It's gonna get weird, I can guarantee you it. I want to order love dolls from Four Woods, but mom disapproves for the following. The money in my bank account is for emergency purposes due to the inflation crisis costing us more funds for bare necessities. The pandemic is still here, and although the Omicron have settled, it may rise again. And she says that if I want $2, she needs me to get my own house to rent and see if I can support myself financially. She still refuses to help me order from Four Woods as she wants a cheaper brand of love dolls. She claims silicone is silicone, but Four Woods silicone is much different from other love doll silicone. But I keep telling her that there is no other brand of love dolls that look like what I'm going after. So, if there's any support workers or lawyers in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada that supports this type of situation, please reply ASAP because my milieu support worker won't support this. Gee, I wonder why. You know, I'm honestly wondering why that whole, hey, maybe try this out at your own house was not some kind of indicator. Because, you know, I'm starting to kind of think that maybe that type of product isn't something where your first thoughts would be, I need to get my parents' help on getting this.
If someone breaks into my house with a firearm and I sneak behind them with a katana and decapitate him, would I likely go to jail in Florida?
First off, likely yes, but also the fact that you will involuntarily and instinctually have to say nothing personal the second he hears that he'll turn around and fire. What part of don't bring a knife to a pew-pew fight do you not frickin' get? Know the difference. This is very much a PSA above anything else. Nerd. Enjoys things, but does not force them onto you. Possesses adequate self-awareness. Sometimes not very social, but still kind and friendly with others. Does not let their enjoyments become unhealthy, and does not let the judgment of others affect how they live their life. And then there's Neckbeard. Considers themselves an ultimate authority on whatever they like. Lives in a myopic alternate reality of hate and self-loathing in their heads. Lacks critical thinking skills and takes everything at face value. Extremely emotional, immature, and prioritizes their desires over all else. Antisocial, and the only exception being like-minded individuals. Stuff like this and these two varying mindsets are definitely things you can apply to different situations, and even such as like anime. If you enjoy watching a certain show and it's something that you just like doing because it helps you relax and it's not actually hurting anybody else, then go ahead and enjoy that thing. But at the same time, just because you like something and somebody else doesn't like the same thing, that doesn't mean that that person should be degraded because they don't have the exact same interests.
Don't ever hurt me, because if it's my turn,
you'll Google how to stop crying. Who set up this matchup? You have a deranged psychopath who murders people for fun, and then you have a literal eater of worlds that is as old as the universe itself. I do not believe this is any somewhat of a fair matchup. You can't just take any picture of two characters that look somewhat remotely similar in some way, shape, or form, slap a quote under it, and think that you're gonna be edgy. But the fact that the common denominator between the two is that they're both clowns, and the fact that the people that post this kind of stuff likely idolize clowns, says a lot about the whole guys being clowns and stuff. It just goes to show I am never going to be able to take these dum-dums seriously at all. But with that, that is going to have to be it with the video. If you guys would like to be absolutely amazing, show your support, and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up the wholesome internet discussions, and if you have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on them notifications. Let's see if we can get this video to them 1,000 likes. That would be absolutely amazing. But with that, I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.